Hey and welcome. Today we're dealing with the issue, cold air comes out here, warm air comes out over there. And yeah, first things first, we'll go ahead and read through everything to see exactly what errors we've got.
Quick heads up before the video starts. Don't be surprised about the quality differences between the videos we upload. Sometimes one will be good quality, other times it'll be poorer. One that's poor quality because we're uploading new and old car tutorial videos at the same time, but we've improved and recut the older ones, since a lot of the footage needed fixing and we wanted to bring them up to our current standards. What was unnecessary was cut out. And they're now being uploaded one after another. So, go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss a video, and I'd say let's get back to the video.
So we've got a new tester. That's why I'm going to read all of this out. So I've already selected the vehicle. I had scanned it once before, so I can just head over to the history here and take a look. What the last error was. Scan it, here's the code. 328197. Got it. Code's been read. That means the temperature flap is not working. There's a problem somewhere. You could, of course, do a basic setting of these temperature flaps so that they have their end stops, or rather, units. We've already done all that, and the error is still there. We'll suit up first, head over to the engine, take a good look around, and see if there's any kind of issue showing up. So we'll remove the cover down here once, and then, with this cover off, we should actually be able to access the engine points properly. Down here, it's fastened with two plastic screws. Let's take a look. It's all a bit nonsense and kind of fiddly to work with. So you see these plastic screws here at the back. Got it, and I can take the cover out. And the same thing actually happened to me too, that a part like this came flying out at me. I put it back in for the video on purpose. I'll show you guys exactly where this whole part comes from in a sec. So now I'll just remove the cover here. I'd already checked this out before, of course, and the trick, like watch the video for a second. So you take this off right here. And as you can see, there's the actuator motor, and from the actuator motor in the middle, normally this gear should sit. And next to it is the flap. Let me try to get there. So, it moves this flap back and forth. So once we've taken the motor out, this part usually sits right in there inside. So it normally sits in here like that. I hope it's not too bright here. Not too dark. So it normally sits in there like this. Then it moves the motor back and forth. That means this gear is turning back and forth. Then there are end stops here. Where the part hits. At the end stop. For example, right now it's warm and keeps turning. Then it gets cold, and after that it warms up again. Then cold again. Right. And if it's not there, it won't work. All right. See how it engages here? These are the endpoints, here and here. And if that engagement point, this part is a bit too bright, which I showed you where this edge is, touches here after a certain amount of time, it wears out, and then of course it automatically jumps away right here. They could have easily made this straight right here instead of leaving it like this, but for whatever reason, they just didn't bother to do it. They intentionally put a crease in there, I suspect on purpose. The problem is, when you buy this part new now, like we did, unfortunately, the part isn't much better, and what you can clearly see there is that another small little crease has been left in, so it probably wants to pop back out again after a certain amount of time. Here, everything still looks great, because the part is, of course, brand new. So it's going to work properly again now. Same as here. And then he touches it and says, "I'm cold." And then he turns over here and says, "I'm calves." Yeah, all you got to do is take this whole thing and rebuild it in reverse order. Then you've got the exact numbers you need right here in front of you. That's the part number. For the replacement part, In case this ever happens to you on one side, of course the engine's over on the opposite side, so naturally it's available for that side as well, no problem. And if, for example, it could, of course, still be something else like a fuse or whatever, but if you have that kind of issue, then it could very well be the problem. Yeah, it could be on the other side, but make sure you've completely filled out the error memory. Don't skip that step. Yeah, it only shows one more thing right now. I didn't actually show the screws in there at first, but if you're following along closely, you'll definitely spot them too. You can also unscrew that with the 20 socket. Where they're now making extra spots here, I suspect those are extra spots, so the motors need to be replaced. The problem is, if the plastic there is stripped, you can't just put the part on and it will work. It will probably work, but at some point it'll pop off again, and so on. Could still be something else, but here it was just like that. Maybe it's also happened to you or to some other cars or wherever you've heard about it. Yeah, the engine's mounted on the left side, specifically designed for left-hand operation, all because it measures exactly 2 inches. 2 inches, that means you can have cold on the left, warm on the right. Yeah, important to catch that mistake. The problems aren't great either. Yeah, once you've swapped them out, you can run a basic calibration so it properly learns the end stop position. Yeah, the sad thing is, when you actually go and buy the part brand new and think that something's different. I started working on it, that's the change you all saw. Yeah, kinda sad, but what can you do? If you liked all that, leave me a thumbs up. This is my channel. Till next time. Ciao.